It was the year 60 after Hijra. The world had changed. The messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, had returned to his Lord decades ago, and the Ummah he left behind was no longer what it once was. A new system had taken over, no longer led by the principles of justice, mercy, and humility, but driven by the thirst for power, wealth, and throne. In the land of Sham, a man named Yazid ibn Muawiyah had declared himself the new caliph. The son of a once mighty ruler, Yazid did not rise to power through the consultation of the Muslims, nor by merit or piety. He was handed the throne like a crown prince, something that deeply alarmed the true scholars and leaders of the Ummah. Among those who refused to bow to this rule was Imam Hussain ibn Ali. May Allah be pleased with him, the beloved grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. A man raised in the Prophet's lap, a man whose childhood was filled with the sweet scent of prophethood, and whose character reflected the light of truth. When Yazid demanded his allegiance, Hussein refused. A man like me cannot give bay'ah to a man like Yazid. For Hussein, truth was not a word, it was a duty. And tyranny was not something to be tolerated, even if the price was his life. Far away in Kufa, news of Yazid's rise and Hussein's resistance had ignited hope. The people of Kufa remembered his father, Ali ibn Abi Talib, who had ruled from there with justice and wisdom. They believed that Hussein was the one who could restore the lost glory of Islam. But promises are easy, until fear enters the heart. Yazid's ruthless governor, Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, was dispatched to crush this uprising. One by one, the people of Kufa betrayed their word. Muslim Ibn Aqil was left alone, hunted, captured, and finally martyred. The same people who had welcomed him turned away in silence as he was executed. Hussein, unaware of Muslims' fate, had already begun his journey from Makkah. He traveled not with soldiers but with his family, women, children, his brothers, sons, and nephews. Every wise man advised him, saying, "O Hussein, don't go, the people of Kufa are not trustworthy." But Hussein replied, "I am not going to seek power, I go to reform the Ummah of my grandfather." On the 2nd of Muharram, in the year 61 after Hijra, Hussein and his small caravan were halted in the barren plains of Karbala by a mighty army of Yazid. Thousands surrounded him. The desert sun scorched the earth. The Euphrates River flowed nearby, yet access to water was denied to Hussein's camp, even to the thirsting children. Day after day the siege grew tighter. Hunger and thirst clawed at the families. Infants cried for a single drop of water. He addressed the army of Yazid with the Quran in hand, with the Prophet's words on his lips. He reminded them who he was. "I am the son of Fatima, the daughter of your Prophet. Do you not fear Allah?" The night before battle, the 9th of Muharram, known as the Night of Loyalty. Tomorrow they seek only me. You may go and no blame shall be upon you. O Hussein, if we were to be killed, then burned, then our ashes scattered, and this done to us 70 times, we would still never leave your side. Morning came. The sun rose on the 10th of Muharram, a day now known as Ashura. And with it began a battle not of numbers but of truth versus falsehood, light against darkness. One by one Hussein's loyal companions went to the battlefield, Labaik ya Hussein, as they gave their lives. His teenage son Ali Akbar charged with the courage of youth and the spirit of his grandfather. His noble nephew Qasim ibn Hassan, so young that his sword was bigger than him. His lion-hearted brother Abbas, the standard-bearer who went to fetch water for the children, only to be ambushed and killed at the riverbank. Hussein stood alone. He was tired, wounded, surrounded. He looked around. Every body lying on the ground was either his family or his friend. He held his 6-month-old son, Ali Asghar, up high, crying out, "If I am guilty, what is the sin of this child?" In answer, a 3-pronged arrow was fired. The baby died in his father's arms. The women and children, the family of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, were taken as captives. They were paraded through the streets of Kufa and Damascus, their heads covered in dust, their hearts torn with grief. But in those chains stood a woman of fire, Zainab bint Ali. She stood in the court of Yazid and declared, "You think you've won, O Yazid? You've killed our men but not our mission. You've spilled our blood but not our truth. The days shall turn, and the oppressed shall rise." It taught the world, never bow to tyranny, never compromise on truth. Imam Hussain, may Allah be pleased with him, did not die. He lives in every heart that stands against injustice. He gave his head, but never his hand in allegiance. This was Karbala, a story not just for Shias or Sunni, but for every human who still believes that honor, truth, and courage are worth dying for.